everybody, welcome to today's video. So I'm Sam and we're going to be building a C&C 6x2 Kavee cage. Long title, but it's why you're here. So the whole 6x2 cage today is going to be 210 centimetres long, so that's 2 meters and 1, so straight across there, and we're going to get 70 centimetres going downwards, so width-wise. So it's a pretty big cage, like it is a big one. So our biggest cage that you can probably buy commercially, it's absolutely ginormous and it's good for up to 4 guinea pigs. So definitely consider it if you have 4 guinea pigs to put in there, or you can just do it for 2, just, you know, shower them with space. That's absolutely fine. Having a stand does make it a lot better and a lot easier for you. We do have a video kind of saying if you want a stand or not, to try and give you some tips and tricks of why we think that you should. But this one is without the stand. Additionally, later on we will be adding a lid and a loft as well. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, we are going to be doing a 6x2 cage. What you will need for the entire thing. So these are our grids. These are the modular grids that are going to go around the cage. We only need 16 of those ones today. And for the actual connectors, so to put them in their places and make sure they're secure, we're going to use these connectors and we'll need 32 of those. So 16 plus 16, 32, double the amount. Nice and easy. So I say we'll just kind of get cracking really, let's go. The easiest thing that I'm going to suggest that we start with is putting them into a corner. That kind of makes it a little bit easier to build on from there. So we're essentially just going to do grid connector, but we'll go from there. So what we'll do first is get a grid and put 2 connectors on the side of it. So I'm going to call them feet for now. I don't know why, but that's just what I do. So put their little feet on and we're just going to kind of stand it up there. Yes. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. This time it did. So we're going to carry on. So we'll put some in the corner there as well. So it just creates like a nice little right angle, and that's kind of where we can build. So you get kind of an idea of what the shape is going to be. I've realised as well, I'll just put them in the corner too. So just making sure that they're really nice and secure. You can add a little bit of force to it, just so you get those clicks. Don't know if you heard that one because I probably just chatted over it. But we'll just kind of, as you go, keep putting them wherever you need to go to. There's no point kind of putting them on to kind of really line it up. It gets a little bit difficult. So if you can, just try and work from putting one in at a time and then connect them once they're in. So I'm going to carry on doing the exact same thing that I've just done here, but literally just going to put 6 here and then 2 going down. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. Lovely, so now that you're done building the kind of cage, you'll realise that we haven't used any at the bottom, and hopefully you haven't either. We don't need them, so we're going to actually put the coroplast sheets down at the bottom here. They are very sturdy enough, they don't need the bottom of the cage, but also if you did have them kind of, it might create like a kind of uneven surface, so it wouldn't be worth it. So the coroplast sheet 6x2 by itself is more than sturdy enough. So we're going to go grab our sheets now, we're going to move our cage out of the way, and I'll show you how to fold the sheets now. So if you've got your cage out of the way, if you've gone to a different space, what we've got is we've got 2 Corox sheets here. So this is for our 6x2. So for this one, we actually have 2 of the 3x2 sheets here. So what we'll do is we'll start folding those ones. So I'm just going to pop one out of the way just for a second. Hiya! So when you get these ones, you're going to have little kind of almost like rims that you can see where you need to fold. So just get those ones and just kind of fold them down. As easy as that. So just kind of making them a little bit more flexible, because right now they're very robust. So use a little bit of weight just to kind of really fold those ones over, because we're going to need to kind of fold them. And you will have noticed as well on the edges, these ones are feature locks. So little bits in there that you can kind of securely keep them folded, and that's what we're going to do next. So no tape, no glue. So lift it up a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to go from the tab from the outside. So we'll lift that up, feed it through where the slot is. Whoopsie. And then you can pull it through. There we go. Good trick kind of there is when you feed it through, just hold on to the outside, otherwise you'll let go of it just like I do. So same again on the other side. So what we're not going to do for this one is, with a 3x2 cage, usually would fold all 3 of them and that would be it, or sorry, all 4 of them and that would be all. But for this one we're actually going to leave the 2 there, because when we put it in the 6x2 they're actually going to overlay on top of each other. So as long as 2 corners are folded, and then what we're going to do with this one is that we're going to fold the opposite 2. So the exact same thing again, of just kind of folding over. We're pros at this now, this part's fine. This is like the relaxation part of a workout. This is like the bit where it's like, oh cool, yeah, I can do this bit. Cool. So just place it on the top if you want to. And same again, so we're going to get the little tabs from the outside in, feed through and pull through. And same again, feed through, hold on to it. And there we go. So it's going to kind of sit like this inside the cage. It will obviously, with the cage, kind of guide just like that. So it'll kind of hold itself up. So what we'll do is we're going to bring the cage back and we'll place it inside the cage. So now that you've got your Koroks all folded, what we're going to do is we're going to grab, ooh, one of them's going to fall down. Catch that one with your elbows. So we're going to move this one out of the way for now because we only want one to begin with first. So what we'll do is we're going to put it into the corner and just making sure that they're both in their corners quite nicely. There might be a little bit of adjusting just kind of as you're trying to fit it in there, but it should be absolutely fine. Now you can come back with eager, and we're just going to kind of put the exact same thing there, but just on the other side. That one was perfect, that slotted really nicely. So there we go. So additionally, there's also the option to kind of fold your coroplast sheets both in the 3x2s, so folding all sides, all 4 corners, as you can see, and that way it kind of slots right in there and it creates almost like a little compartment, almost like a little bridge the guinea pigs can kind of hop over and things like that. There's a little bit of weight, you know, we all need to do it, so we can do that for our guinea pigs as well. And it also kind of slots in that little bit easier, but it's completely up to you whether you want to fold all 4 corners or just fold the 2 and keep it as an open space. We do also offer the additional ideas if you want to add a loft and a lid as well. We'll go on to that bit next, so stick around if that's something you're interested in. And later on we're going to add the idea of a full lid as well. So stick around if you want to watch. If not, congratulations! So we are here now because we're going to add a loft and a lid to our 6x2. So what we'll need extra for these ones, we are going to need 2 more of the normal grids that we have, so the 2 kind of just normal ones we've been working with. And introducing, we have the door hinges, what we call them. So they have hinged edges on this side, and that is actually going to create the lift. So whatever side you are putting it, making sure that this part is on the edge because that's where the lift is going to go. We'll come along. We have 4 more connectors. We know these by now. You've done the 6x2. You know what they are. And then to actually secure them, because we're going to put them halfway into the cage. This is to ensure that the ramp isn't too steep for the guinea pigs. So halfway we will securely them with cable ties. I just said securely them, but we will secure them with cable ties. So we need 5 of those ones. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to connect our 2 normal grids together. So we'll just kind of grab those ones, we'll keep them just whatever corner you like, whatever one, and just kind of securely placing those ones in. And there we go. There we go. So I'm kind of putting my pressure on the outside part of it and trying not to put pressure on the inside just in case you cause any damage. But now that they're in, what we're going to do is we're going to try and fit that in there. We're going to place it around halfway up the ramp. So just there, we're going to place it around there. So what we'll do is we're going to bring you in nice and closely, and we're going to use cable ties. So it's quite finicky. So you'll have to pay attention for this part, so come over here. So from the bottom of the cage, you're just going to count 7 upwards. So 7 is a good level for about halfway, and that way the ramp isn't going to be too steep. So with the cable tie, we're going to go through, we're going to go round, kind of getting both corners and back out the other side. So through, down and round, and you can tighten that one up there. So that was the kind of trickiest part because you obviously have to hold it with your other hand as well. So now that that one's secure, that's the best one to start with, you can now get on with the rest of the corners. So same principle, going through, down, round on the corner and back outside there. And just tightening up as much as the cable tie will kind of go. And then going on to the third corner. So it's good to start with a straight line with kind of adjacents together. It just makes it easier for when you're actually trying to lift the cable or lift the loft later on. There we go. So now we can go on to one of the corners. And it's exactly the same thing again. So just lift up with the other arm and just making sure that it's the same level. So through, round, out, and there we go. So when you get it like that, the best thing to kind of do, there we go, is just to get the corners all done. And that way the other end will be super simples now. There we go. And making it super secure as well. And last one. So same as before, through the gap, we're going to go round and down, grabbing the corner, back out the other side to tighten it up with the cable tie. And there we go. All done. So now that you've kind of got the loft in a secure place just there, what we're going to do is we'll just have a little tidy up. So we'll just go round and just cut the cable tie ends, unless you want to keep them. Don't know why, but if you do, I won't judge. But I'm just going to cut these ones off. There we go. It looks really smooth with the black colours because it just kind of all blends in. I love that. There we go. So now that we've kind of got those ones, you can discard of those ones and get rid of your scissors. We are now actually going to move on to the lid of the loft. So we use a lid on this level because, as we know, it's a little bit high up and you don't want your guinea pigs to kind of climb up and get out. So we're going to have a little safety lid here for this one. So we'll start off by using the door hinged ones, door grids, and we're just going to place them into the far edge ones. So one corner and the middle. You're going to be tempted here to kind of put it inside, but if you do, you're not actually going to get the lid. So if you want to keep that one out, we'll use one of the connectors and we're going to face it upwards. So just like that. And that way the connectors can actually kind of stay flat onto each other. And that's where it's good, so it adds the lid to it. So it's a good little thing for you as well to remind you that, oh yeah, that bit goes up. So let's do the other one. So exactly the same thing. So into one corner and then into the middle. There we go. Ooh, that was satisfying. And then we can place another connector in the middle to just secure those ones that little bit more. And the one there on the edge. So they can kind of sit up together. And there we go. So there's the lid there for you. So now that you've kind of got your Koroc sheets ready, you'll see that these ones are a bit different from the bases before. So what we'll need to do, we have one here for the actual loft and we have one that's the actual ramp. We've gone for black because it matches the one that we did earlier. So same again as before. We are just going to fold up the little tabs. As you're kind of folding, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, something's a little bit different here. It is. So that bit is for our actual ramp. So the good thing to do is remind you now, I have done this many times before, is to keep this part on the left. So this little part where the actual ramp is going to connect, keep that on your left side. Because if you do it on the right, it's not going to work and it's not actually going to properly fit into it. So, right, let's go. We have a little bit of a tabbies here. This ones are super easy to fold. That's like really great. So we're going to just place them inside. So same as before, just kind of feeding through and then pulling through from the other side. For this one, actually, you probably could just slot them in there, go quite easily through. So you've kind of matched up the rounded sides together. They're going to be fine. And for this time only, there we go, so we can create a little right angle there. We are usually, as I said before, we usually go from the outside into the slot. This time, the only reason why we are going to go inside out is so it can actually securely keep the ramp in. So inside, Same as before though, you can just still feed it through and pull it out the other. So now that is kind of securely in its place, and now we forget that we ever did that, and now it's going to be outside in again. So we're going to just do the rest. So from the outside, get the tab, feed it through, and then pull it all the way. Oosh. She made it difficult for herself doing it on her left side. My left side isn't my strong side, my right side is definitely my strong one. There we go. Woohoo! And same again. No, not from the inside. Outside, feed it through, and pull it. And it should go quite nicely, it will glide quite smoothly inside. So you won't have to use too much brute force with it. So there we go, it will kind of sit like that, and the ramp will go down very nicely. So what we'll do now is we'll put that back into our cage where we've secured the loft ground already. So we have now got the loft and the ramp, so we're just going to place that onto the loft bit there. Whoop. There we go, and it should just kind of exactly like that slot right in really nicely. So, and we can close the lid now as well. So there we go. So that is the 6x2 with one loft and a lid. You are also more than welcome to add a loft again on this side. Gives a bit more dimension to the actual cage, so that's a really good idea if you want to do that. What we're going to do next though, if you have cats or dogs or any young children or anything like that, we're going to actually show you how to do a full lid. So if you need the full lid, stick around. If you don't, ta-da, well done! So if you are here to build a full lid, I'm hopefully going to try and talk you through it as best as I can. It's just worth mentioning that we have taken the safety lid away from the ramp just for the demonstration of doing a full lid. Never take that bit off if you do have the guinea pigs and everything ready in there. So only take that off when your guinea pigs are out of the cage. So for the full lid, we are going to need 4 of the more door grids. So 4 door grids all together. And we're also going to have, I believe, 8 of the normal grids. So, because of the 6x2, it's such a big cage, the only kind of part of the lift that we're doing, or the lid should I say, is a 4x2 lid kind of thing. So we're actually going to have to fix some grids on both sides. That is because if we do a 6x2 lid, it's not very robust, it's quite unsturdy, and we don't want to cause any damage. So the highest that will go is a 4x2, sorry, with a lift there, lid, I keep saying lift, lid. So what we're going to do is, we're going to focus just on the bits that will be fixed first, and then I'll kind of go into more information when we're actually doing the lid. So we're going to do the fixed parts, and we'll need the normal grids. So what we're going to do is, on both kind of sides of the 6x2, we're just going to place it inside. So we're going to put it in the corners first. Just like so, and you're also going to be kind of tempted to, oh actually no you can, never mind, ignore me. I'm so used to doing the lids that I was like, you don't want to put them in, but you do, put that in, because that is fixed. So we'll do the same on this one as well. So just connecting the ones that you've already done, one at a time, makes it that little bit easier. And we'll do the same here. So for this one, we're actually going to be facing upwards, or actually either way, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do it facing downwards actually. So I'm going to do flat top facing up. There we go. There we go, yes. So now that I've realised, I'm not like talking myself through it as we're going through it, but now the connector, I've actually put it facing downwards, so the flat weight is on top. That way, when the lift or when the lid is going to go up, we can actually rest the other side of the connector on top of it. So that one in the middle is going to be facing downwards. Ignore what I just said earlier. I'm talking myself through it the way you're kind of like, what am I doing? So we're going through it together, we're a team. So we're now going to do the other side exactly the same as what we've done. So getting 2 more grids, and we're just going to put those ones in there. So just connecting in one at a time, remembering that it's just not too flexible when you've already put 2 corners in. So just trying to be careful that you don't actually damage the cage. And same again, 1 corner at a time. So we're going to get another grid as well, so another connector, and facing downwards, so flat top on. There we go, flat top on top. There we go. So now that we've got the two fixed ones, we can actually now put all of our attention onto the actual lid itself. So all of the hinged grids, so the drawer ones that we call drawer grids, they are going to go on this side. This is so because the hinge parts can go inside the connectors, they can actually do the lift. And the other parts, so all the other grids that we have left over are going to go into this side. So there's a big lift that we can actually grab there. So we're going to start by just putting this one in here. So same again into those parts. You're going to be tempted to try and put that into there. Don't do it. I've done it so many times. So we're going to get another connector and we're going to rest it so it's kind of on top almost. So we just put it there already, connect that into that corner, and that's where it's going to be. So it's going to wait there, waiting to be connected to the other one. So there is going to be the lift, but we're going to do that a few more times. I'm going to connect one of the normal grids here so you can kind of see how it will look. So we'll get another grid here, placing it into the ones that's facing upwards, never down. Oh, it's the other way around, isn't it? There we go. So just clicking that into place like before. Same again, don't put them in there. Get the two. So we're only doing upwards from now. So get that one. There we go. And the same again. You can kind of see at this part, they're like, connect me at the bottom. So let's do that as well. So still facing upwards. There we go. So that's kind of the first two that we've done here. So they're going to do a nice lift like so. Oh, sorry grids. And we're going to do the same thing again. So you can do one drawer grid at a time and one normal grid, and we're just going to keep going like that. So same with the thing, connectors always facing upwards, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, that was like just as like mind consuming for me as it was for you as well. So there we go. You've got the 4x2 lid there, well technically on the 6x2 cage, but a 4x2 lid, the two fixed panels there as well, and it opens up really nicely. So well done. That is now it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of decorate the cage now, and I'll kind of just see you in a moment. So this is it, everybody. This is our 6x2 with the black Corex sheets as well, and obviously our guinea pigs are inside too, fully decked out. So you've got some ideas of what you can do with yours. Obviously, this one isn't with a stand. Sorry. So if you do think that you want to add a stand, then definitely do. They're much more helpful. We've got videos and things you can have a look at as well. I hope you enjoyed today's video and building along with me. I hope it went a lot smoother for you than it did for me, because I had a few issues with the connectors, but that's fine, we're no pros. So remember that this guinea pig cage here for the 6x2 is available for up to 4 guinea pigs. If you want to add less, even better. They absolutely love the space of having it to themselves. So everything you see here, products and everything like that, are in our website, which is in the description box below. So please do and check that out if you want to. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time for the next videos. Bye!